What is going on, motherfuckers? This is Jack and Frank. We have a new show called Weekend's Last Beer. This show is going to be just Frank and I kind of talking about whatever's going on throughout social media, whatever going on through sports, PGA Tour, the NFL, baseball, things of that nature, life. It's going to be kind of like a branch off of Jackson Hour. So this is kind of this is just a pilot episode. We'll have an intro up for the next episode. But yeah, we're just kind of here.
Still working.
Exactly. Frank, how you doing today, buddy?
Dude, I'm doing good. Got the baby down, got him sleep nice and sleep. You know, he's only now 4.5 months now. So just got him to sleep. Just been working and just having a good time. I actually golfed last Friday with my uncle, my dad, and my cousin. Shot not the best. It was my first time out, but shot an 88. So had only 2 3-putts, believe it or not. So I was actually pretty happy about that.
That's awesome to hear. Speaking about golf, we'll talk about the first topic. What is our favorite public course to play? So this could be, any courses we played in the past, courses that we want to play. So Frank, what's your favorite public course you've played in the past or you're about to play?
So I have 2 favorite public courses that I played. I will shout out to Riverwinds, one of the Jaworski courses out in New Jersey. The main thing that I love about it is that par 17 during a nice summer day. It's sort of like right on the Delaware River. You have an island green, but you have tons of boats all around that island green. And they're partying, drinking. But the funniest thing is, once someone goes on the tee box, you hear all the music just go dead. And then you're teeing up the ball. It feels like you're in the PGA. You hit the ball. If it goes on the green, they go crazy and cheering for you. But if you hit it in the water, that you hear like a big boo and everything. So it's like really fun. It's like a little waste management kind of feel to it. And that's what I love about Riverwind so much. I would say Glen Mills is probably the top one that I would play over and over, no matter what season it is. It's just a gorgeous course and it's hard. And that's what I really like. Like, you have to actually use your brain. You don't have to use driver every single time. It's like, all right, I have to hit it 200 yards. I have to stop it within 230. So I got to figure out what club to use. Where's the wind? So it's always a fantastic way to test your golf knowledge, really. Course that I am going to be playing in July. Shout out to my buddy Disco. It's his bachelor party. We're playing in Indiana. It is called the French Licks. I always say Finger Licks, but French Licks. It's a Peter Dye course. I know a lot of YouTube golfers went on there and they play it and they always say how hard it is and how gorgeous it is. And I just can't wait to play with a couple of my buddies. Some of these guys are scratch golfers and some of these guys are shooting high 90s. So it's going to be so fun to see how like everybody plays on it, and just we're going to laugh no matter what, but really excited about it. What about you?
Yeah, for the courses, I mean, I just played, I don't know if you ever played, it's in Jersey, Mount Laurel Township. It's called Bramblewood. It's a Ron Jaworski course. Dude, it's a really nice.
Yeah.
It's a really nice course. It's 3 9-hole courses. There's it's red, white, and blue. We played white and then red. But I mean, it's kind of typical Jaworski course. It's not too lengthy. There's not much too water on it. But I played there actually last weekend, and my one buddy, it was his birthday, so we went there with his grandfather and his brothers and cousins, and we had a really good time. It's one of those courses that, like, if you can pipe it down the fairway, there's not many trees, so it's kind of like a good starting course if you're kind of just starting out with golf. So it's a fun course. Another course that I enjoy playing, one that's kind of by me. It's called Mox and Run. It's in Lancaster. It's very lengthy of a course, but I recommend going
that
there
whole
because
18 is a tear, bro.
Oh yeah, no, it's horrible. Another. Have you ever played at I think it's Del Castle?
No, I
in
never played
Newark.
there.
So
No.
that's another one that it's the 18th hole is literally you hit on a hill. There's a valley and it goes back up on a hill and like the greens on the top of the hill. So that's a challenging course. Um, it's one of those courses that's very cheap to play at, but it gets backed up pretty easily.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, if you're starting out, it's probably one of the good courses to go to.
Yeah. Moccasin Run, dude. When I played there, I was like just starting to like get serious about golf. And I was like, am I like not good? And my buddy's like, no, this course is hard, dude. Like I did not expect this at all. Like the back nine is ridiculous. Like,
Oh yeah, no,
but
it's
now I play it now and I'm like, oh, I know where to hit. I know where your first time out there, you're like, where do I go? Like every
right.
single time. And it's really fun. No, I completely agree with you on that. And like how like you and I were talking about even like boys like trips and stuff like that, like with golf. Like it's just always so fun. Like when you go to a new course and no one knows it, like it's like all right, like everybody's looking on their GPSs and everything. Like oh, if I hit it here, you're good, and then they hit it actually where they want it to go, and then they look at it like, dude, I have no shot at this hole. Like it's really like sort of an even playing field for everyone, and that's what I love about it. And that's what I love of playing new courses. I always tell people like when you play like a course every single time, it sort of like kills your game at the same time because you're just like playing it and you're like, oh, I know what to use on this with this. I need to use my 7-iron, and then I have to use my pitching wedge here, and I'm perfectly on the green. Like you just get accustomed to your like home course. That I always like trying new courses like every other week. I don't like staying at the same course, and that's like one of the difficulties of me even joining a country club is because of that exact reason. It's like I don't want to play the same course over and over and over and over again.
Right.
Like, yeah, they're going to
And,
change their holes, but dude, like I'm still playing the same hole. I know exactly where this is going to land. If it lands there, this breaks here. Eh, That's what I love about like all the different courses.
so kind of in the same realm, if you were to play a private PGA Tour course, like what would your favorite course be to go and play at?
Oh, favorite PGA like anywhere? It would have to be Valhalla. I would have to say Valhalla or Sawgrass. Sawgrass,
Why?
Sawgrass isn't public, is it public? Sawgrass? Yeah, it's
I think it
TBC.
might be.
That's
I think
TBC.
it.
So yeah, I would
Yeah, I
say
think it
do
is.
that. So I wouldn't mind playing the LA, that really private course in LA that costs like $300,000 to join it. I wouldn't mind playing that. I know a lot of people will get mad about this, but I would love to try to play at Mar-Lago with Trump's course just to try it out because I hear just crazy things and who like all belongs there. I mean, like almost every tour guide that lives in Florida belongs to that. So who would you be like? Who's your foursome? Like if you went with you and your dad, or like you and me, Doordan, go there, and then you have Tiger and Charlie teeing up next to us. Like
Yeah.
that's insanity.
No,
Like
and yeah.
some billionaire is going to come next to you, and then you're just going to talk to them for like hours just trying to figure it out. And like even when I like talked to a couple of my buddies, I was like who would be like the best foursome? Everybody's like, oh, Tiger, this person, this person. I have actually a funny one for you on this. I would have Larry Bird and Jordan and just let those two talk the most shit to each other the whole time. I wouldn't even golf. I would just sit there and just listen and just enjoy my life of them just talking the most shit to each other because they have that banter with each other still to this day. And I think it would be just so goddamn fun to like just listen to those guys like shit on each other, like two legends just going at it like it's 93.
Yeah. And kind of again in the same vein, who would the your dream foursome that you would want to play golf would be? Like who would you want to play with? I think it would be me, Tiger Woods, um, Rory McIlroy, and Bryson DeChambeau. We would play a 2-ball scramble, and I think it would just be the most fun like I've ever played.
I think having fun I have to throw FP in there. I have to throw Fat Perez in there somewhere. I think he would be so funny, just like in general. And then I would probably have Larry Bird and Jordan. Just let those two just talk their shit and just
I think
hear
that'd
them
be
out
fun.
and just laugh out. Because come on, dude, how funny would that be with FP's commentary, Jordan and Bird's like just banter going back to each other? I would just sit there and just eat popcorn the whole time and just laugh my ass off.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that'd be a good time. And people that are, watching this, I know we have a few viewers. Who would your dream foursome be? Put in the comments. Moving on, another topic that kind of switching gears is this whole Sanders media response and how Mel Kiper like pretty much lost his marbles the whole
Oh my
draft, the whole 4-day process or 3-day process of drafting because Sanders went so low. I just think it's funny because he was a highly taught after quarterback coming up in the draft, and then maybe it was the interviews that kind of like made his draft stock go completely all the way down to the bottom floor. So I just think it's funny because you think that Shedeur Sanders, having his father being Coach Prime, you think that he would go top 10 overall. Then you see Jackson Dart go in the first round. You see who's the guy that Dylan
Oregon
Gabriel go
Duck.
before him. Yeah, Dylan Gabriel. So it just blows my mind that people, I mean, honestly, and the fake the fake draft call, I think it's kind of messed up. But at the same
Oh, I
time,
think it
I think
was
it's fun.
so stupid.
I think it's funny
They caught the kid.
because
They figured out who he was.
yeah, it was
Atlanta
the
Falcons?
Jets. Well,
Was
it
it
was the
Atlanta Falcons?
Jets interim coach last year. Yeah, it was his son,
Yeah.
who was like a 22-year-old college student. So I think it was just kind of funny, and I
So
just
bad.
think
It's just such a
blowing it
bad
out of
look.
proportion is. I think Mel Kiper. I mean, I feel like all of the announcers or people that were following the draft, they were in the same boat. Like they don't think Shedeur Sanders is going to be a good NFL quarterback. What are your thoughts on that?
So are we talking about the Mel Kiper that said Lamar Jackson should be a wide receiver? Are we going to talk about the Mel Kiper that said Tim Tebow is the next big thing? Are we going to talk
Yeah.
about like all the things he got wrong too? Like, listen, like Mel Kiper is not God here. I'm sorry, but he's not. And like me listen to just not Mel Kiper, just all of the media going, oh my God. Now, do I think the hype was to keep that going so people more watch the draft? Absolutely. I think a lot of the hype was because of that. But also, I do give props to the NFL, and I know this is a hidden like thing. All these people were like, oh, yeah, they're going to go, first round, top 10, blah, 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 blah. All the teams were like, no, we're not taking that guy. We're not taking that guy. We're not taking that guy. To the point that it was like, wow, they kept their mouths really shut. Now, did some things come out like, oh, the interview process, oh, this. Did the interviews go really bad? Like, okay. But it was never like, hey, this is what he said. This is what he did. Like, I give props for him. Now, do I feel bad for Shador? Absolutely, in a way. I do feel bad for him because they kept bringing it up and they kept literally micro checking on him like every
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes, like checking his live feed, checking on this. And do I think he's a good kid? Yeah. Do I think this is the now the payment of the NCAA has a big issue right now. The players are controlling the league right now, honestly. And I think this was a good wake up call to every single big player in who has dreams in NFL. Like, yeah, you might run the show there, but you ain't gonna run the show here. There, like, yeah, I think it was a good, humble experience for everybody here. Like, for every NCAA player, like they're gonna look at that and be like, "Oh, I can't just walk in and just go, you know who I am." Like,
Right.
okay, so did people hate Dion back in the day in like the early '80s? I think it was '85 he was drafted. Yeah, they did, but you know what? He talked the talk. Now, do I want Sanders to succeed? Heck yeah, I want to see him succeed. This would be the coolest story to watch. I want this kid to blow up and make the Browns look like they picked the best pick after them picking, like taking back from Jacksonville, taking that trade from Jacksonville. Now they're going to look like one of the smartest people, even though they did get Gabriel in, I think, the second round, was it? And that kid was talking about he doesn't like playing the cold. Now he's playing in Cleveland. Good luck in November and December and hopefully January, kid, because that ain't going to be fun for you. And my biggest fear is for Sanders is you're walking into a locker room with grown men now that have been in the league. They've been there for a while, bro. They've been there and they know the ropes. Are you going to sit down and listen? Are you going to, listen to the Flacco? Are you going to listen to these guys that know the league? They know how to control a huddle, know how to talk in a huddle, know how to like talk to your linemen. Because I remember early last season, he was like, hey, threw the lineman right under the bus in that earlier. Like, how many times did that other quarterback get hit? How many times did I get hit? Dude, that doesn't work in the NFL. They're all professionals. They're going to walk up right to your locker, and there's no protection in there. That's a hidden gem in the NFL.
Yeah, and my thing is, it's like he had a list of teams that he would never play for, and he got drafted to that one team. That just it blows my mind that like he thinks he's such that great of a quarterback that he deserves not to go to a specific team. Brother, the NFL draft is which NFL team wants you on their team. You don't get to pick and choose what teams you play for. That's just not how life works. You
His
gotta
dad literally turned around and goes, I'm going to pull an Eli if he goes to certain teams. And I think that's another panic button that a lot of teams had. Like, why are you saying, oh, I'm going to pull an Eli? Now, when Eli pulled it off, everybody was questioning Eli. Like, dude, is this kid, who does this kid think he is? Like, kind of thing. But now you're all the way in the, third or fourth round he got picked? I completely forget all that.
fifth. It was
Fifth,
the fifth.
fifth, yeah. Dude, you have no choice at this point. You
No.
you can't pull a Eli because then you're gonna be like, all the doubters on you are gonna go, see, we knew it. So I really hope him for the best. I really want to see him succeed, and because it would be a really cool story. But another thing I would love to see if the Browns picked Hunter and then him picked in the fifth. How sick would that be? That connection right
Yeah,
off
that
the
would be
bat.
cool.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I wish. I wish.
It the Browns this upcoming year have a definitely interesting QB room. They got Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett battling out for QB1. I think if Kenny Pickett wins out the position, you're going to see either Joe Flacco retire or you're going to see him get picked up by another team. And then I think Dylan Gabriel will be fighting for QB3.
Practice
And
squad, baby.
I
That
don't
would
know.
be a nightmare. You kick this kid in the second round. Do you trade? Like, what do you do with
Yeah,
this? This
I,
is like the typical Brown fashion. Like, you pick this kid in the second round, and then you pick, a guy that's maybe even ranked higher than him in the fifth, and then you're like, okay, this is going to cause a lot of commotion in freaking the off season and during training camp. Like,
mhm.
please, for the love of God, Hard Knocks, please go to the Cleveland Browns, because please, just solely because of this, I want to see it.
That'd be an interesting
That would
sight to
be the
see for sure.
best Hard Knocks right now. And I think, honestly, like the best. I always look at like other teams, like the Saints. Like, where were you? Like, what were you guys thinking? Like, I just I understand there was a lot of other issues off the field, and there wasn't that much on the field. But they also can say, hey, he's 9-5, and he had the best wide receiver in the NCAA. And I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, that's a great. Yeah, how did you go 9-5? But I'm not gonna lie, his offensive line was dookie, and they couldn't run the ball. But still,
and about the Browns, what are you gonna do with Deshaun Watson? Like, like you kind of are at a crossroad right now. You just drafted 2 quarterbacks. You have
Flacco,
an
who
old
is a
quarterback.
legend in Cleveland right now.
Yeah, not last year when he came back, but the year before
No.
that, yeah. And
Yeah,
then you have Kenny Pickett, who I think he's going to
you
be.
traded for.
Yeah, and we got their shitty ass offensive lineman or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like an interesting like. Do
We're
you
all Eagles
think?
fans, by the way, people.
Yeah,
Forgot.
exactly. We love our birds. The
Okay.
do you exactly? Do you think Watson's going to come back and like what the fuck? Like what are we doing? Do you think they're going to trade Watson away for cap space? What do you think the Browns will do? I know we're talking a lot about the Browns, but it's just like this is a hot topic right now.
No one's gonna take that contract. Like you have to have that contract with someone. You have to pay that contract. They're not gonna. They're not. There's no way. Like
Yeah.
what GM is gonna be like? Yeah, let me pay $40 million for a guy that can't even stay healthy. And oh, by the way, can't throw the ball that well anymore. Like if this year's prove it to me. Then he's getting. If he has a prove it to me year this year, if he throws over 3,000 yards, he will. Will he be traded? Or will you keep him and then use your stock of quarterbacks and sell off?
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about
Now you're
it,
stuck again because you have an unproven rookies behind you, and now you have a guy that's actually playing pretty well, but Father Time's not on his side anymore.
right.
See, they're just stuck again. Now they have a big situation. Every single year they have to make it. And I feel like they're always in Jenga. Like they have this puzzle. It's always wobbling and they keep getting higher, but it's getting wobblier and wobblier every single year.
Yeah. I mean, kind of in the same vein, let's talk briefly. Who do you think the biggest winner and the biggest loser was for this NFL draft, in your opinion?
I honestly think the biggest loser was the media. Like everybody was standing there like, hey man, like, come on. Like, let's do this. It's like, I was gonna say like the biggest winner was the Browns because I was like, oh my God, they actually have the shit together, like until the 5th round, and now they got another predicament. Now, the same predicament that they always get into, like, oh, we picked this flashy stud, but you have so many other holes to fill. And I was like, oh, they traded back because they understand that they need to build a really nice foundation. That's what they need to do. And that's what they did at first. I was like, wow, they were so stuck on like, let's get the biggest player in the draft and let's really show them off. And then 4 years later, hey, they might be really good, but they're gone. They're going for a championship or a ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think the biggest winners. I'm not going to say the Eagles. I'm going to say the New York Giants did. I like the Arizona State running back. He's a monster, that kid.
Yeah, Scott
He runs through people. Yeah. Oh, my God. I really enjoyed watching him play. I'm actually excited to watch him play in the league. But I really liked all their picks. I was like, okay. I mean, I can't wait to get them in 4 years. When they go, oh, we're going to keep getting you and franchise tagging you until we don't need you anymore.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, it's Abdul Carter was like probably my top pick for the whole draft, and he was number 1, and there we are. So,
see, here's my thing. I think Abdul Carter, he's a great player. For what I see, in certain positions in college, right? You are a breakout player. You're playing college football. Like your competition isn't that hard, right? And then you come to the NFL, and it's more fast paced. You have bigger dudes. You have dudes who've been in the league for 5, 6 years, right? So it's kind of hard to adjust. That's why you see a lot of these quarterbacks who, are highly taught after in college football. But when they come to the NFL, there's only a few that really like show up and like they're legit. And I think Abdul Carter, perfect example. I mean, I hope he does well, but I think he has not proven himself right yet. And who
Wild,
knows?
though.
He hasn't. He has not stepped. He has not stepped a
On an
single
NFL field.
foot on an
Okay.
NFL field, right?
Okay.
But this
I thought you said
my
like prove
perspective.
yourself on the college
No.
on that. On that.
All I'm saying is these guys who are highly taught after who have great seasons in college football, they don't always shake out in the long run. And that's what my biggest concern for Abdul Carter is. Yes, he's proven himself on the college football field, but like, you'll see what happens when he's in the NFL. So I think he's not yet developed. He's not yet proven himself that he is going to be one of the best defensive players in the NFL. That's just my opinion.
I always use this, and this is a good Philadelphia Eagles reference. If Mulata was actually, a college football player, he would have been number one, like top 10, like lineman, but that he was picked in the 7th round. Like we got to also remember that the NFL, not everybody's good at their job there. Like I don't know how the Eagles found Mulata. Like I know they did the NFL Europe, blah 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 blah. But if everybody knew Mulata would turn out the way he did, everybody would have tried drafting him. So that's another thing. Like what I always tell people with the whole Sanders situation. Hey, they saw something they didn't like, and then they're like, "Oh, he needs to be drafted. He needs to be drafted." Like the whole media going, "Why isn't he drafted yet? Why isn't he drafted yet?" And it's like you turn around and be like, "Hey, man, like this is their choices, man. Like this isn't why isn't he picked? The NFL has a big problem that if he doesn't get picked, it's like why? Why does the NFL have a problem? Because they didn't pick someone that the media loves, that knows that they're going to make tons of money off of. Because this kid is a social media machine. He's going to make some headlines no matter what.
Yeah.
Like he's like the Johnny Manziel, and that's such a bad reference to point him like that because he's not like the partying type of like Manziel, but he has that like focal point like Manziel did. But like, yeah, he's gonna make headlines. He's gonna have like this stuff. Like, and the media, how they came out and said the NFL has a huge problem, blah blah blah. I mean, even like Donald Trump got involved in it, and I was like, dude, like you're the president of the United States, shut the fuck up. Like, please, like, come on, like. This is not as big as it should be in America right now that Sanders did not get drafted. Like this is a multi-billion dollar industry. Like I said before, they don't know what they're doing, but when he starts falling, like Aaron Rodgers did, he was like supposed to be top 3. And then after that top 5, he dropped all the way to what, like 28th or something. This happens in NFL all the time. Just because they had the light all beamed on him and we're waiting for it and it just never happened. And I was like, oh my God. And then the media is like fumbling over themselves with that. That's how I felt about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. For my opinion, I think either I would agree with you. The Giants probably were the biggest winners, but also the Bears too. I mean, they passed up on Tyler Warren, which blew my mind. I think what they're saying about Colston Loveland is that he's going to be the next Brock Bowers. And
my bad. I picked, Cam Ward was the first pick. My bad on that.
Yeah, you're good.
Bill Carter was 2, right?
3.
3? Oh, damn it.
It was Cam Ward, it was Travis Hunter, and then it was Abdul Carter.
That's right. Good Jags. Yep. Okay. Yep. You're right. Damn it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would agree with Kathleen Peebles on this. Thank you for watching. If Jahad Campbell does stay healthy, I think he's going to be a really good pickup. I think that he was probably one of the best linebackers in this draft, or edge rusher, whatever you want to call him. Dude can play. I mean, I saw his highlights. He's quick. He has long arms. He can get downfield. I said this a couple of days ago. He can chase down the run. He can blow up the hole and things like that. So I really do think Jahad Campbell, him being a South Jersey guy, I really think that this team was meant for him. So I think we said the same thing about Nakubi Dean, right? And his first 2 years wasn't the healthiest, right? And then last year he had a breakout season, and then he got injured in the playoffs. But I think this is kind of the same perspective that we can see with Jahad Campbell. I think Jahad Campbell is definitely a lot better than, or could be a lot better than Nakobe Dean. I mean, we'll see. But I really do like that pick, and I think it's something that we needed. We lost a lot of people, a lot of position players like the edge rusher after the Super Bowl. So I think Jahad Campbell is kind of the right pick for us. But moreover, I think the Chicago Bears with Colston Loveland, I think that was a great choice. I think, people are like, oh my God, why did they do that? Because you had Tyler Warren still on board. But I think Colston Loveland's going to be a tight end who's going to, last long, just like Brock Bowers. He's going to be dirty. So, and I mean, these teams that they drafted who they needed, right? Because, the Giants needed a quarterback. They got Jackson Dart. I think Jackson Dart's going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks we will see coming out of this draft. I think Cam Ward's going to be a good quarterback. So it's just kind of,
I like Cam Ward. I always liked him.
Yeah, no. I like him a lot. I don't know if you watched the TikToks or whatever, but they did this thing, letters for the draft or whatever, and like he's very close knit with his parents, and it was just kind of cool to see like them talk about from day one when you were a toddler to now. It was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean,
you want to hear a crazy story about the draft?
Yeah.
So it was the first round. Pittsburgh picked the kid from Oregon who was really close with his mom, and his mom was like really sick. I don't know if you heard this story yet, Doordan, but then he got drafted by the Steelers. Then he went to go see his mom in hospice and announced like, hey, I got drafted. And then she passed away the next morning. My wife was not the same for a solid day, let me tell you. She was in tears for the man that she didn't even know existed 24 hours ago. And when I told her oh, his mom passed away this morning after she figured out, she was distraught about this. She's like, I need to know who this guy is. I need to follow him. I was like, oh, you're really into this draft. She's like, that is one of the best NFL football stories I've ever heard. That needs to be a movie.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I would agree with Catherine Peoples. Yeah,
it's beautiful in a way.
Oh yeah, that's a great story. Green Bay definitely did not like us when we showed up on stage. So yeah, that was kind of funny to see the fans react. That was amazing.
Bo's such a perfect.
I love Bo Allen. Bo Allen is one of the greatest guys. Greatest players, and I've come to like him more since he's been
out of the league,
retired.
Yeah, I like Chris Long and that crew. I always like those dudes.
Oh yeah, no, I think those guys were first Super Bowl.
Not gonna lie, they're definitely dudes.
Oh yeah, for sure. They would have a beer with you. They would drink a beer with you for sure. Yeah. Another thing I want to talk about is the upcoming weeks in the NFL. It's gonna be crazy. You got all these draft picks, that have been picked, right? And then you kind of have to figure out what do you want to do with them, and what their contract, signing bonus, things like that. So I think it's going to be a wild next couple of weeks in the NFL. I know we won't really hear much about it, but I think this is the most exciting portion of post draft. That you kind of see these different contracts,
mini camp, the whole 9 yards. Who shows up to mini camp? Who's interested in going to mini camp? And then training camp comes, and then people are not coming. Then that drama, and then of course the best part about training camp fights, baby. It's one of my favorite things to watch. Dudes just fighting for a job. That's the best part about it, man.
I mean, this is where these rookies, these 22-year-olds, these 23-year-olds, this is where they kind of make their mark, right? Yeah, okay, you got drafted 1 overall. Okay, but what can you do in the
Just
NFL
hearing
field? So
the
I think,
and then of course after like the but yeah.
say that again. You dropped out, or if the Frank, oh Frankie. I guess I will talk. Yeah, I agree with this. Well, no, I don't agree, but I heard this as well. I think it's good to have Dallas Goedert for 1 more year. I think we drafted a tight end this draft, but I think that Dallas Goedert, he's a necessity. I think we keep him for 1 more year. I'm excited to see what these young guys can show us what they got. Frank, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yep,
Okay.
I'm good. My bad.
Well,
I don't know what just happened there. But no, I think Goddard is actually a great plan for us for the next future, for the close future. Did I think how he was going to maybe pull the trigger and go for the tight end at Penn State? I'm not gonna lie, it's Howie season. Anything's possible. That's who I wanted, but I knew that was high hopes all the way. But yeah, like I still like Goddard. I don't know where the Goddard hate's coming from still to this day. I just want him. He's good. Like
yeah.
he might not be the fastest guy, but dude, the dude can block and he can catch. And he like saved us a couple times in the playoffs. He's battle tested in the playoffs. Keep him. Stop talking about this. Like, I don't know what it is with our own radio stations in Philadelphia, just hating on their own team right after they won a Super Bowl.
No, hear me out. This is what happens with WIP. They just try to find a little crack and a bigger crater, just to talk about it. Because what else do you talk about? Oh, like it's
with AJ Brown. I was like, come on, just talk about how great life is being a Super Bowl championship. Like,
exactly.
Come on, like just enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Kathleen.
I can't listen to it because it feels so negative sometimes. It's horrible.
No, and like the mainstream fan base in Philadelphia just base their takes off of what WIP says. It's just like it's oh my god, it's just fodder, and it's just annoying just to hear people just agree with them just so they can like sound like they're intelligent. So I mean Dallas Goedert is a key necessity to this team. I think we deserve it. He was a big help for us the past couple years in the playoff runs we had. And I just love him as a person. I think he's a good guy coming from a smaller school in North Dakota State and kind of making his name for himself. So that just it just makes me happy to see that, him be such a success. I get it, Kathleen. Appreciate it. Everyone's busy. We're all busy. So I really do appreciate you hopping on the show this late at night. It means a lot to us.
Hey, Kathleen.
Kathleen, this is going to be the new show, so hopefully you tune in to the show.
Every Sunday night at 9.
Yes, this is Monday night, but every Sunday night we will be on at 9:05. So stay tuned. But yeah, dude, I really think like this is the most exciting portion of the NFL season. I think you kind of, like you said, you got the OTAs, you got the, it's April 28th. We got practice camps coming up. So I think it's going to be an exciting year for the Philadelphia Eagles, for any team. It's really cool to see what these rookies can do. I really do think Ashton Genty is going to be on the ballot for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I really think he's going to be an asset to the Raiders. The Raiders haven't really had a run game, and I just think he's just going to be so good.
I don't know. I think it's going to be Cam Ward. I think he's going to turn that team around because he does have an O-line, technically. I don't think the Raiders have that good of an O-line. And you see what happens to great running backs without no good old line. Now, when they have a
Mm-hmm.
great O line, you see what happens, and that was just proof last year. Yeah, I mean, I'm just really excited for just the season to just start back up, man. I mean, it's always like such a tease with the draft. Like, oh, the draft, the NFL draft. I can't wait, can't wait. Then you sit there and you're like, shit.
Yeah,
Another like
exactly.
4 months of this shit.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like
now we got back to Stanley Cup playoffs. I go.
well, yeah, and it's kind of funny because it's like you know how like January is typically the darkest month, right? Because of the winter solstice and things like that. That's what it is kind of
Yeah.
for the NFL the next 4 months. So I'm itching to watch some football. I'm excited to see what we can do. Um, yeah, I mean, do you have anything else you want to talk about? Because I mean, we got some time. This is kind of like an open
All
panel,
right.
just kind of discussion.
All right. So this is a crazy thing to talk about. If you had a dream bro trip for golf, where would it be?
Okay. If
And it
I
could be
had
anywhere in the world. Just can't be Augusta. Like, come on, that would be every golfer's goddamn dream to do a pro trip to Augusta. But,
personally, I would go back to the motherland where I came from in Ireland. I still got family in Ireland right now. Very
nice.
few older people. I was there 10 years ago for rugby.
Oh, that's cool.
And oh yeah, no, before we go on. Yeah, I agree. No, no, no. I think just like before we kind of backtrack to the draft, I really do think that Howie was truly trying to figure out like he wanted to trade. That's why we traded up for one position because you know he gets that itch. She's like, oh my god, I need to make a trade. I need this team
Hmm.
to make a big move, and like no one was working with him. So it was just kind of funny that's kind of how it happened.
I think it was kind of funny. Like, it was like Kansas City, like, traded with us, and Andy Reid's like, dude, give that boy a bone. Like, he's hungry.
Exactly.
Like, come on, give the boy a bone. No, but yeah, I always trust in Howie. Howie season, baby. This is my favorite time of the year. But Howie season, baby. It's my
And
favorite.
how we trust.
And Howie we
Yes,
trust.
Kathleen. Go ahead.
And
Go ahead,
like,
Frank.
here's the other thing that I'm like thinking about. Aaron Rodgers is going to the Steelers, right? Like that. That
I
has to
mean,
be.
one would
That has
think
to be
that
it.
because they passed up on Shador multiple times. So one would think, yeah, that's kind of a interesting dynamic that no one wanted Shador. So that has to tell you that Aaron Rodgers is going there because I mean I think any other of the 31 teams they kind of have their quarterback other than the Browns, but they have 5 quarterbacks to choose from. So I do think we may see Aaron Rodgers in the gold and black. So we'll see what happens because that kind of went quiet. Right as the draft started, there was conversation leading up to it, and then just went dead. So I know he's meeting with them. He did some routes with DK Metcalf. So
That might be
I'm
kind of a
curious.
deadly duo right there. And Pickens on the other side, I like.
I was gonna say it's a trio, and then they got that. Did they get Golden?
I think so.
From where is he from?
No, that was the
But
Packers, weren't that? Wasn't it the Packers that got him?
I think you're right. Let's see.
I think he did go to the Pack.
Sorry, I'm looking it up.
You're good.
I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think Golden did go to the Packers.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I think George Pickens needs to do something because George Pickens hasn't really done much in the past 2 years. He's got close to that 1,000-yard mark, but like he just didn't really Sorry, Kathleen. I did Google it. I didn't find anything, so she said no Googling. um. But yeah, so I think the Steelers receiving core has been good. It just you had Justin Fields and you had uh what's his name, Russell Wilson. So I don't think those two quarterbacks are the best throwing quarterbacks. Anyway, going back to what you questioned, yes, I would go to Ireland. I have family there from County Cork and County Mayo. If I could plan, I would probably do like a week and a half, 2 week trip there because see my family. But the course is there. I mean, if you ever flown to Ireland, it's called the Emerald Isle for a reason. You fly over and it's just green
Wow.
green water, like not like gross green water, but like that emerald color. So it's pretty cool to,
Yeah.
I was there for 10 days. I wish we had 3 matches and things like that. But my two uncles, they've done a trip to Ireland and they said it was the best golf they've ever played.
Really?
And
That's
they really recommend it. So that's kind of where I would end up.
Yeah, I'm like up there with maybe Scotland or Ireland, but another good spot, like it matters on the course the time of the year. I wouldn't mind trying to maybe do Scottsdale. I know a couple guys of my friends did that, and they're like, dude, it's awesome. It's such different golf, blah, blah, blah. But I really want to go in the Midwest. I hear so many good things about the Midwest, like the Great Plains, man, like Montana and stuff. They're like,
Oh yeah.
there's so many people that talk about, dude, like if you want to like bang for your buck, go out to here, go there, go here. And you would have never thought of going to like these states. Like I always wanted to do like some like big like trip, like what I'm doing. I'm doing the French Licks. Who heard of the French Licks until like YouTube golf started blowing up and Peter Dye and like the Pete Dye course out there, and they're like, dude, like this is one of the coolest courses ever. So I'm really excited to do that, but like I'm excited to do like different courses too, like and go out there and like start really exploring. I know there's like a Tiger Woods course out there. I think it's in North Dakota, and it has the famous 19th hole. I always wanted to do that one. Like I always wanted to try like all those different like weird courses that I would love to do.
I think you froze again, Frank. Goodness. But I'll let you finish. You're probably still talking. You still talking?
What?
What were you saying? Because you froze again.
No, I always wanted to play like the Tiger Woods course on the 19th hole. I think that would
Yeah.
be always interesting, and like all the dinosaur, like, and then like the dinosaur one, like that's like right next to it, that you see like the old dinosaur crossings and stuff. Like that's one of my dreams.
Kathleen, we get that a lot. Golf is definitely it's a game for people who actually love it. I know, like my girlfriend, she's like, dude, how do you watch golf? She's like, I just put golf on just to take a nap. I said, golf is such an exciting sport, especially you watch
So
YouTube golf. I think
so
YouTube
fun.
golf has definitely saved it. I mean, if we watched we talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Full swing too. That's what my wife got started getting into golf. Then my wife will
Yeah, I
sit
mean,
down with me and watch it because she starts knowing all the guys' backstories and knows their
yeah,
families and all like the connections and stuff. And then she's like, oh, like Justin Thomas, like blah blah blah. She knows that side of the family. She knows Rory's side of the family. She knows all the drama within the game too. And it's like,
hmm,
babe, how do you even know that? Like she's like, oh, I've been looking on the
right.
internet. Like, it's like,
Yeah,
all
I
right,
mean, it's definitely if you want to just to kind of get a little dip of it, you would watch Full Swing on Netflix. If you have Netflix, make sure you watch it on there. You'll get the better understanding of the sport, the golfers, and things like that. So if you will have Netflix, Kathleen, check it out. They're not boring. They're 35, 40-minute episodes, and
you'll
it's
love
not
it.
just them playing golf. Yeah,
My
you'll love
wife
it.
loves it. She'll watch. She gets so excited every season that comes out. She's like
Exactly.
more on it than I am about it.
Um, but yeah, I mean, the last thing I got, and then we can wrap this up, is it's not a question. My question of the night, I've asked this before a while ago, but Frank, if you were stranded on an island, right? It was
Mm.
just you by yourself, Calvin. Cardinals fan here. Do you think Aaron Rodgers would get picked up by another team? I don't know if you just tuned in, Calvin, but I think
That would be the
the
biggest
fact.
FU to the Pittsburgh Steelers ever, and I
Oh
would
yeah,
laugh so hard
exactly.
because they
We
would have to
thought
give up a first round pick for a backup quarterback. They would have to.
no,
They would
yeah,
have to.
and I mean,
You're gonna have
yeah, because
Rudolph
that
play.
is it Rudolph.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
insane. I pray that Aaron Rodgers goes somewhere else because I would die laughing. And like I have friends that are Pittsburgh Steelers fans, and that would be because they're like, "Oh, we're getting Aaron Rodgers." The cockiness of like that of this right now is insane because there's nothing written in stone right now that he's signing.
no,
Yeah, my personal opinion, yes, he's going to the Steelers or he's retiring. That's
yeah.
my
I mean,
that's my personal. But if he goes like somewhere else, like I would love to know like where else would he go? Like it has to be a good team.
Kathleen, we appreciate you hopping on the show. Make sure you tune in next Sunday. We'll love to banter with you. But yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, if the fact the Steelers passed up, so appreciate Go Birds. We love you, Kathleen. Really, really do appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier, and then we can wrap this up because I know it's getting a little later. Calvin, yeah, I think that, the fact that the Steelers passed up on, Shador Sanders. They passed up on Dylan Gabriel. They passed up on Will Howard. They passed on Riley Leonard. I think you're going to see the Steelers make a move. I mean, we saw Aaron Rodgers practicing with DK Metcalf. So yeah, I think if he doesn't go to the Steelers, I don't know. I don't know where he's going. He may, like Frank said, he may retire.
If he doesn't sign with the team before the season starts, and if the Chargers aren't doing good, I can see him going to the Chargers.
Yeah, I agree.
I can see him going.
Okay, so back quick. So if you were stranded on an island, just yourself, no wife, no kid, and you had to kind of like your last meal, what would you want to bring with you on the island?
Like
That
last
you could
meal, or
survive?
like what I have to bring on the island.
Yeah, that you have to survive with on.
And it has to be one
Be,
thing.
yeah, it could be like it could be a meal. It could be like a slice of pizza. So it has to be a meal, just one meal. I guess that's a better question. You had one meal that you had to survive on. What would it be?
Oh man, that's tough. I would have to say like shrimp cocktail or something like that, so you can make it as bait. You don't even eat it.
Yeah,
You have to fish with it.
that's actually smart. That's a smart. That's a smart way of taking that. I didn't think that way. For me, huh?
Oh no, I got you messed up, didn't I?
No. What do you mean?
Messed up, like oh shit, I didn't even think of it that way.
Yeah, you did. How about I'll get some chum and just chum up the water so I can get bait fish and then go fishing. No, in reality, I think I would probably steak and potatoes. Steak and potatoes sounds good.
I know I'm not an outdoorsy person. I'm gonna die anyways. So maybe just why not grab a fillet and Oscar?
Yeah, how long do you think you would survive?
A day.
Yeah,
a day.
I think it would be a week for me, and I'll be knocked out.
I look at camping of going to a hotel with no bar is camping to me. Like,
true.
I'm sorry, I'm bougie. Hate on me. Like, I don't care.
You're not bougie. Actually, no, you are kind of bougie.
I'm bougie in that way. Yeah, I am no outdoorsman.
You're a golfer.
I am a golfer, but that's not considered outdoors.
So, with that, like I said, Frank and I, this is our pilot episode. We hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll bring more topics talking about Eagles in general, sports in general, life, kind of shooting the shit. It's kind of we've been friends for a couple, 4 or 5 years, and
5 years
this is kind of
now.
what we just
Yeah,
want to
5 years. Holy
we just
shit.
want to go on, talk, and just engage with the people. So we will be bringing more to just the podcast. I think Frank and I, we agreed that once a month we will go to a golf course. We will
Yep.
play 18 holes. We will, get like a
Shoot the
GoPro
shit.
or something like that. We'll make a whole YouTube channel of just like kind of what we're doing. And that's kind of the way we're going. But like I said, this will be every Sunday night at 9:05. We may, depending on holidays, things like that, we may go live earlier than that, but look for Sunday at 9 o'clock. So we appreciate you guys listening. We got a good viewership tonight. This is Weekend's Last Beer, and we would love for you guys to come back and watch more. So without further ado, God bless and love you guys. See you,
Hey,
Frank.
y'all.